my God, it's happened. The PlayStation 5 is here. Yes, it's here. Well, no, it's not here, but we saw the reveal and gas mode. I am so excited. Welcome to my channel. I go by the name of Mr. Midas. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you're with me and I appreciate it. Now, I sit down and discuss the highlights of the PlayStation 5 reveal with the wonderful Twitch streamer BitterSweet. So let's find out what we think. You can tell I'm gassed already. I've seen it. I've seen the light. I've always seen it. PlayStation gang all the time. We've just watched it. Yes, the PlayStation 5 reveal. Oh my gosh, I am so gassed, like gas mode 100. But like I said, I have got the amazing Twitch streamer, the beautiful, the one and only BitterSweet in the building. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I am so excited. So as you know, I'm a big PlayStation guy. Like, you know, I'm the PS guy. And they finally revealed, like, Sony had been so quiet with all of the information, so quiet with everything they're giving it out. And they just, for the last hour and a half, just gave it. They just went pow, 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 and then just bare punches. You're not a Sony girl. How do you feel watching that event?
I'm not a Sony person, but I'm wearing blue. How did I feel? Honestly, watching that event, I was impressed. There was a lot of games out there that I thought, yeah, this looks really good. But I have to be honest, I didn't get that little butterflies like I would when it comes to Xbox. But again, what we saw tonight were a lot of sequel titles and things like that. So there's certain things I'm just not going to be as excited about as a PlayStation, like, you know, as a PlayStation player would be. But obviously they smashed it with that little reveal at the end. I can't lie, that just as a gamer, that just got me. I was like, oh!
So let's talk about our favorite highlights. So the first one, we got to obviously talk about the console. So the console is looking slick. So it's got the two-tone color with the white and black. For me, I think it looks like Tony Stark's tower out of the Avengers
at the end. Yeah,
it's looking mad Avengers-y, but it's crazy because PlayStation's always kind of consoles have been quite similar, other than the original PlayStation, but they're always quite similar, very kind of similar boxes. And I feel like with the PS5, Sony really want to be next gen, and this kind of looks like something out of, I don't know, something out of some next Star Wars movie, or like I said, Avengers. It looks like something of that next generation. So me, a highlight for me is obviously being able to see the reveal of the console. I didn't expect to see it. Look super slick. What are you thinking about? You're a fashionista. You tell me how's it styling on there?
Amazing. I think it looks amazing. I think you're absolutely right. I think Sony are really trying to push that next gen boat out, and I think they succeeded, honestly, when it comes to this. Whereas Microsoft gravitated more towards that PC feel with that more tower shape that they've got for the Series X. Obviously, yeah, PlayStation just on it, like, for as an aesthetic. Yeah, hit a lot of boxes there, but and I like all the peripherals as well for it and stuff. You know, like they've got HD cameras. Because you know, obviously the future is streaming. They've got you know, like the headsets and everything like that. One thing that I really liked actually as well that I noticed is that it now comes with a media remote, which I think is super important in terms of integrating that console into your everyday life, which is what Xbox started off. Obviously, it was a home entertainment system as well as a games console. So actually, I don't know why we've never seen that addition from Microsoft. That's something that really kind of ticked a lot of boxes for me, definitely.
The reason why I'm such a Sony fanboy, and the reason why I always fly the flag for PlayStation, is the games. PS do not ramp when it comes to games. So let's talk about some of my highlights, anything that stood out to you. So we're gonna start off, the only way we can start off, SpiderMan. You get me? So they showed a new Spider-Man. Doesn't look like Spider-Man 2. It almost looks like an extension, almost a smaller game but it representing Miles Morales, who, for people who don't know, is of mixed heritage. He's black and Latino, and with everything that's going on in the world, it's so incredible for us to be, as gamers, to see one of the first games that PlayStation put out with a black face. And SpiderMan was such a sick game on the PS4, such an incredible title, like where you swinging around and stuff, and Miles just looks ham, fam. He just looks like the graphics on him, he looks like he's styling. Miles has a lot more moves than traditional Spider-Man. Like, he can disappear, he can do mad little techniques. So what did you think about the look of this one?
Yeah, I think it looks great, and like you said, I think the meaning behind it, and also just whether you're a Spider-Man fan or looking for a little bit more representation, I think what this game symbolizes is really great, and I think it will mean a lot to a lot of people, and especially people who have played the first Spider-Man game, like you said. Yeah, that'll be massive for them, obviously, to finally get this edition. Last year, that was one of my biggest regrets, not being able to play that Spider-Man game.
I'm going to tell you, you missed out. You fully missed out.
You're not the only person to tell me that. I think a lot of people felt the same. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. Really excited to see what that's like.
Cool. All right. So another thing that really stood out to me, and not for a great thing, was the introduction to the event, and obviously them talking about GTA. So when I saw the Rockstar logo, I was like, oh my God, are they going to announce GTA 6? And then they basically just announced that GTA 4 is going to be able to be played on PS5, and people, if they have GTA 4, they can play it for free on the PlayStation 5 as soon as it launches. Now, I get why they did it. It makes sense. They're basically like, it's the biggest game in the world, and they're like, look, when we want you to get a PS5, we're going to give you extra money in the game, we're going to support the game, so there's a reason for you to be able to.
GTA 5 is free to play when PlayStation 5 comes out.
But for me, I felt like it was a bit of a boring starter. How did you feel about it opening up with that GTA 5 announcement?
Yeah, it's kind of the same, a little bit underwhelmed, I suppose. Just sort of like, oh, okay, here's something that we've seen. I guess the reason that they probably did that is, like you say, to try and highlight that backwards compatibility feature, because I think it's something that a lot of people were kind of worried about. You don't want a new games console to come out and then you have to buy all new games. So I think that's maybe why they did it. But like you say, yeah, a little bit of an underwhelming start. But you know, a decent offer if you are a GTA player. You know, 1 million in-game currency for every month until the release and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I'm sure a few people are going to be happy about that. And I kind of like the way they're trying to draw people in from early as well, you know, trying to say, oh, get on GTA 5, get your in-game currency, and then, you know, free to play on PS5 and all that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go. But like you say, I definitely didn't think that was the strongest or most interesting sort of game that they could have started with. Something that stood out to me as overall, looking as like, you know, the whole presentation, I found that a lot of the new games had female protagonists, which I thought was really interesting. There are a couple of games that look, you know, really cute. You've got Project Athea.
So that's really cool. Yeah, so that's something from Square. So that was a really short clip. I didn't really know what type of game it was. It looked like some type of third-person action adventure, but it looked really cool. I like the look of that one as well. I just thought it was super short.
Yeah, and then you had Returnal as well, which is that sort of almost kind of future space-looking one, where she said she crashes the spaceship, you know, and she relives that day again and again, and each time the world is a little bit different, and it's kind of taking part of her. Just storyline wise, I thought that looked really cool.
Visually, that kind of reminded me of like a Mass Effect, the way the shooting. I
was getting some Death Stranding vibes as well, that kind of post-apocalyptic world. Like,
and I like that. It's funny that loop of dying, coming back was quite prevalent within their conference, because they had another game that looks
as well. Yeah, when we got to the end, then we had Deathloop, which was, like you say, kind of a similar premise. similar sort of setup for the game. However, I have to say Deathloop looks amazing. That looks so much fun. It
Do you
was
know
sort
what?
of like a Borderlands crossed with a few other things.
So this isn't the first time Deathloop's actually been shown, but I feel like the way they showed it this time was super cool. And what I like is, so I'm not 100% sure, but from the way the presentation shows it, it seems like you can either be the male protagonist who has to be able to go and kill everyone to be able to stay alive, or you can be the female protagonist who has to always take him out before things. So it looked like a co-op game. So me and you could play. You can try and take man out, but like I'll be ducking and weaving. You ain't gonna get me, fam. So yeah, Bethesda, I think that one was really cool in terms of representation as well. One game that really grabbed me was Kenna Bridge.
Kena, that looks so good, right?
It looks so cool. So I feel like it really kind of gave me like a Legend of Zelda kind of feel, like in terms of the aesthetics and the colors. And I feel like PlayStation's always kind of lacked that. The protagonist looked dope. The world looked, the colors were popping. And it was almost like, in my head, I was like, oh, I'd love to play this on my Nintendo Switch. But it looks so clean. It's like, no, my Switch wouldn't even be able to handle that.
Yeah, you need that big screen. It was really, really nice. Bridge of Spirits, I think it was called, and you had those little spirit animals.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of Pikmin almost, the way they sort of like run after you in those little groups.
Yeah, no, it was mad cute.
Yeah, that looked so fun. You've got the bow and arrow, you've got a staff, you can obviously do magical powers, so you've got combat, you've got magic. There's just like a lot of features there that I think you could really, it's a sort of game that you'll grow with, you know, like you'll get, you know, the more you play it, the better you get and the more you unlock. It looked awesome. But
the pro tag looks sick as well. She had a wicked look to her.
Yeah, very, very modern, very, like you say, kind of new gen. But speaking of just that cute animation, I noticed as well that like a couple of different animation styles were coming out throughout the presentation. There was a couple of games that were very, very interesting. So Volcano High, which I didn't really see much about. I wasn't sure too much what that kind of game would involve, but then obviously Little Devil Inside.
Oh, that looks so
much fun.
cold. That looks so cold. And it was so funny because obviously, like, it was so random because you had this old man who was just doing random things and then the adventure was just going ham and then the old man doing random things and you're like, how does this even link together? But the title kind of made it make sense. It's almost like this man is just having a normal life, but in his head, he's going on these mad adventures. That's kind of what I took of it. And I really like the art style. And I kind of feel like those are games that are missing from PlayStation's core library. And I feel like within this conference, they really tapped into those games that they don't really have. Another thing that really struck a piece with me that I thought looked super cool was the new Ratchet and Clank. Now, Ratchet and Clank is a great game. It's always really beautiful and it's always really able to show off the mechanics of the console. And I think what they was doing is when Ratchet was able to walk through the world is them showing off this new SSD card that the PlayStation 5 has and how quick it is to load. Because on the PS4, you wouldn't be able to load from like one kind of game into something else, one kind of world into another, as seamless as that. You'd have to jump through the teleport and then get a load screen and then enter the other side. And I think that kind of seamless, them showing like how fast this console is, super dope. Anything else that stood out for you?
I think, like you say, it's just interesting, the themes of the games overall. A lot of adventure games. As I say, we had a lot of that sort of animation style. There were a few really weird ones as well. I don't know what Stray is, about the little cat.
There was bare cats in this thing. I don't understand where all these cats come from. Every minute there was some kitty in the place. I didn't get it. It was mad. It
was crazy. And then you had the island of snack bugs or bug snacks. Again, I was like, somebody's been smoking something, boy.
I was like, whoever made that game was buzzing. Like, they were buzzing.
How did you even come up with that?
Yeah, like you're a character and then like the animals are fruits and when you eat it, you become that fruit. I was like, this looks Mad.
It was next level. It was next level for sure.
One of the things that has been spoken about lots, and loads of spoilers have gone out, that a Demon Souls remaster was going to come out. Now the whole Dark Souls genre, that whole really difficult style game, has become super popular, and a lot of people don't even know the Dark Souls series started with Demon Souls. And that game, like, obviously we only really got to see CG, but it looked really pretty, like very, very attractive. Like that world, that was probably the first out of any of the games other than Gran Turismo, but car games always look great, that actually showed the graphical fidelity. I don't feel like anything else really pushed what the graphics would look like.
They touched on that a little bit with the 2K11 or 2K20. When they had like a close up and that you could see the sweat dripping and that kind of thing. And I feel like you say they tried to touch on it, but to be honest, like you say, sports games and car racing games, you know, they tend to lend well to those sort of things anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, what else did you think really kind of stood out for you?
So probably the biggest game to stand out for me and a lot of PlayStation people was the new Horizon. So Horizon Zero Dawn, Aloy has almost become almost like a signature character for PlayStation now, even though she's only had one game, but I think she's such a strong female protagonist. For me, she almost feels like the modern Lara Croft, like really striking, like her look, she's strong, and that whole dinosaurs, those robot dinosaurs things are so cool. And Horizon Zero Dawn did really well, but it was one of them things where, because it was like a new IP, Guerrilla usually make Killzone games. It was the first time they kind of made this IP, and one of the things that were lacking in this game was everything kind of looked the same. You had either ice aesthetics or like green, where this one looks like they pushed out the world. The world looks so much huger. Like when she was swimming under the water and you saw the robot alligator, when she was interacting with real animals, then she was climbing a mountain like she's in Breath of the Wild. Then she was then she was walking through Egypt, fam. I saw her walking through the sands and the deserts and that. And I'm like, raw, like they really made this huge. And to be completely honest with you, like as a PlayStation fan, I was definitely not expecting to see Horizon Zero Dawn and SpiderMan and Sackboy and all of these really big titles. So I feel like Sony's really held on everything for a long time, and they was like, alright, you lot want to see what we're dealing with, yeah? We're gonna show you.
You're gonna learn today.
You're gonna learn today. So overall, if you had to sum up the conference in 3 words, what would be your 3 words to sum up the conference? Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot now.
No. I only say that.
I'm keeping that.
Xbox technology is still superior, but their conference was whack. I will say that the conference wasn't good. So this was a really good conference. It was really engaging. I liked all the different styles of the games they play. Like they showed us like so much, you know, like, and just some games with really unique kind of differences as well. Destruction All Stars, that one that looked like Monster Truck. It was kind of like Dodgems in real life. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna smash people up on that. Yeah, it looks so good. I think there's a lot of it looks really fun to play that game. But yeah, they took us on a journey for sure. So we had some classics, some things we were expecting, some sequel titles, and then some really unexpected things as well. So I think overall, really good job, PlayStation. Will I be converting? I don't know, like £600 remains to be seen. But as I said, I'm the closest I've ever been. Put it that way.
Oh wow! Well, that's a statement alone. I think for me summing it up is, I feel like we've had different Sonys in the past, and when the PS3 came out, they leaned heavily on independent studios and they really worked with a lot of indies. And the PS4, it kind of felt like a lot of indies were kind of pushed to the side, and it was just about the big AAA titles. And I feel like this conference was an amazing mesh of the triple A's that people love, but so much indie styles. Like you said, there were so many different styles of games. But yeah, I'm super happy with what PlayStation done. I'm super gassed that I know what the console looks like. And big man thing, I don't even know how much it costs, but I've already put the money aside. It's there. Day one buy, day one purchase.
Last question, do you think you're gonna go digital or with the disc?
100% with a disc. I'm old school. I'm a collector. I like to see my games. Yeah, I like to see my games lined up. Like, thank you so much for joining me for our thoughts of what we think of the PlayStation 5 reveal. Where can the people find you?
As always, the socials at BitterSweet AM _ or on Twitch, just BitterSweet AM. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Yeah, it's always fun us being able to do some work together. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone else who tuned in. Now, I need to know, what is your favorite game in that conference? Was your mind blown like us? Are you gas mode? Are you like me? Are you already putting down the money even though you don't know how much the thing costs? Or you bitter like, let me see how much P they throw on that before I make a decision. What was your favorite game? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe. Come on, I need you part of the gang, part of the team. Join with me. I've been Mr. Midas. She's been BitterSweet. Thank you so much. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you're with us and we appreciate you. We out. It's your shot.